Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon. I just want to say a big warm welcome and thank you to this Facebook Live. I'm going to do a little treat for you first of all. I'm going to show you how to make a quick 5-minute snack. Now I've got the lovely Sarah with me, we're quite a long way apart. So she's going to be feeding me your messages. So please do send messages to us because we'd love to hear from you. So you're probably wondering what I'm going to do. Well, anybody who follows me on my personal Facebook page, and I'm a bit of a fan of a cheesecake. So I'm also enjoying making biscuits at the moment, and although these aren't homemade ones, I want to show you a little snack that you can create for yourself, and it is perfect when you want to spoil yourself doing a little bit of crafting. So I'm going to do that first, and then we're going to do a little bit of craft. So first of all, let me tell you what I've actually got, your ingredients. So this is where it gets exciting. So first of all, I've had a whole punnet of strawberries, by the way. I have, that's why I'm having to keep my top closed because I've had a bit of an accident with the strawberry juice, but I've saved 3 because I'm going to make 3. Well, actually, I'm going to make 2.5 now because I've ate 1. Not a good start, is it? So you need a strawberry for the top of each of the little biscuits, cakes that we're going to make. So I've saved those 3. You need a bar of chocolate. Now, it's got to stay in its wrapper. So this is my bar of chocolate. And what I've done is I've just trimmed off the edge level at the bottom here so that I can get to snip the end, and I've put it in a bowl of warm water. So that's been in warm water for a while, so it's actually going to stay nice and liquid. Then you get half a tub of cream cheese, the rest of your punnet of strawberries, and then really you should put some icing sugar in because it makes it a little bit stiffer. I haven't put icing sugar in today because I'm on a diet. So this means I can have extra chocolate. So here's my little mixture. So chop up the strawberries, mix it into the cream cheese. This is a really lovely snack. I mean, look at this. It's just yummy. And you can definitely lick the bowl out afterwards. And please excuse all those professional chefs and cooks out there where I'm not being as politically correct as I should be, but you know, I think we're allowed to when we're crafting. So make sure it doesn't go too far over the edges. I also keep mine in the fridge until I'm ready to actually start my little cookies. And these, I call these are cream cheese biscuit snacks. So you can see the lovely chunky bits of strawberry in there. And the other thing that I also do is occasionally, if you've got leftover fruit, it doesn't really matter what it is, but look at that for a cream cheese sandwich. Isn't that lovely? So it's like a cheesecake in a biscuit. So I'm just going to put these together. Sorry, that's the one that I couldn't resist earlier. I'm just going to clean off my plate like the professionals do. So I'm just going to take that off, and then what you do then is, I've already done this one, so there's my strawberry that sits on top like that. So span that out, and I'll show you the way that I cut those. Oops, move that out the way for a moment and come into here to cut this one. So I just go through the middle, and then on each side just one cut on each, and then just fan them out so you get that fanned out like that, and that sits on top there. Let's get rid of that little bit of juice. Then this is actually the best bit. So I'm going to show you 2 different things to do. So first of all, I've got my scissors. I'm just going to clean these. This is one of those disinfectant wipes, a hygienic wipe. So I'm just going to use that. Right, so I trim the plastic up a little bit closer because it is easier when you haven't got this big piece of this big tab here. So I'm just going to trim that a little bit further, and then you just snip off the corner. So you'll be able to see, I can sort of see the little hole there. And once you've got that, move this out of the way. So lift this up, put a little bit of chocolate underneath, so that holds the strawberry in place. Let's do that for both of them. That's the other one in place. And then just make sure you've got, squeeze it up. So this is the quickest, fastest decoration. It's so quick and easy to do, and it looks amazing. So I am literally covering my strawberry. So that's one way, and then I'm going to lift this one up. I'm still going to use that strawberry that's underneath, go across like that, across like that, and then put my strawberry back on top. But whichever way you choose to do them, they're absolutely delicious. Now I'm just going to wait for those to set a little bit while we do some crafting, and then I'll come back to it. And if you have got a little bit of chocolate left, you've got a nice cup of coffee, a little bit of coffee, or, whoops, I go round my strawberries and just cover my strawberries in chocolate. Oh, that one didn't need to wait. Okay, so there's my little snacks. Okay, so I'll move those out of the way. Let's do a little bit of crafting. I'd love to know, what is your favourite 5-minute snack? So think about some other things. I really like things like cheese on toast and savoury things. But if you're looking for something sweet and you want to impress a few people, those are really, really quick and easy to do. And they're great with raspberries too, or blackberries. Okay, so I've just cleaned that down. I'm just going to dry that off because it's a little bit damp. And let me show you what I'm going to be doing. So first of all, I have got a free die that comes with Tattered Lace Magazine. So the new subscription that we're doing with the paper magazine, you get a embossing folder and you get the die like this. That's when you need your pokey tool with the magnet on the end. So you get both of those. Don't worry, mine's got a little bit of paper on here. I'm going to show you why, because I'm going to be using a method, then I'm going to show you a little trick that you can use with it. So that's the way that next year's magazines are going to come. So of course, you will get your charisma. Now, for anybody who's never done charisma before, I want to show you how easy this is. So first of all, it's a printable sheet with multiple images on it. You take your die and you place that over the printed image. And we do need to just tape this in place, because one of the things that it does is it's got just a little bit of bleed around the outside edge. And that's the way that the professional printers do it. And it just means that we don't get any white edges. So I'm just going to tape that just up there. That would be enough to hold it in place. And then this will go through our die cutting machine. Now, those of you that know me well, and if it's the first time I've met you, then hello. But if those of you that know me well will know that I pretty much work like this all the time. I am a bit of a messy crafter. But you know what? I find it easy because that sort of helps creativity. So I'm going to go into my Pro Cup. Let's just pop you in there. And while that's working, we get time to have a quick little cup of tea. Hello to everybody who's just joined us. Wherever you are in the world, I was going to get that to come backwards, but I talked too much. It's really good to have your company. I don't know why I'm nervous today, because I'm never normally nervous doing Facebook Lives. It must be because you're such a special audience. So what I've got here is the first one that's been cut. So I'm just going to lift off my page and tap out my design. You can see there's a lovely couple, and it couldn't be more apt, could it? The top of the umbrella. And I've also got the hug. And there's the hug. That's their arms hugging each other. So this would be a great one for couples, but it's also a good one for any time of year. But I'm going to make it into something a bit more Christmassy. So I'm going to put my die to one side and go to my embossing folder. So just clear those over. When I did this die cutting, I used a 3mm and a 5mm plate. For embossing, I'm going to use 2 3mm. But I've got to get myself quite organised, and you will need to as well, because we need to be quite quick when we're doing this to make this technique work. So I'm just going to move those out of the way. Oh, by the way, let me just show you these. These are the free dies that come with the magazine. So these are all the different card shapes that you get. If we get time at the end, I'll just show you them quickly. But they're the ones that come with it. So what the great things about having things where you've got education, whether it's the digital version or the paper copy, it's all that inspiration. So when you think about embossing folders, one side of the folder is raised and one side is recessed, so they sit inside each other. So when I open this up, the trees on this side are raised, the trees on this side are recessed. It's the raised ones that we're going to work with. So I'm just going to move that out of the way and that, and I've got a piece of card here, and on this piece of card, so there's my raised one. I need to get myself quite organised because remember I mentioned that I'm going to take a piece of card. It's got a little mark on it, but I don't think that will matter. And I need my 2-3mm plates, and I need to be ready because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using some glue to glitter parts of this embossing folder. And to do that, I'm going to use stencil adhesive, and that means, I'm trying to let everything spill. That means that I need to work quite quickly. So first of all, the glue's going to go on the raised trees. Then the shiny side of the mirror card is going to go on the raised trees, and then I'm going to close the embossing folder up. To get the glue on there, this is what we do. So you take a piece of cardstock, and I'm using some stencil adhesive. This is the one from Pinflow, it's really good. So I'm just going to go, and you need about 5 centimetres deep of lines, but then just quite spread apart because we're going to run a brayer in there. So this is what we call a brayer. This is the one from Rare Earth, and it's just a rubber roller on the end. This one's a little bit sticky because I've already used it once when I was prepping, and I'm just going to run this in and out and up and down to get the brayer covered in the glue. So I've got that nice and well covered. I come back onto my embossing folder, and I'm just going to go over the trees. Now you can see where it's stuck. You don't need to get too much on here, and if you do, you can always, because we're creating a snow scene, you can always not worry too much about it, or you can go back and just have a practice if you want to. So that closes. Now it's important that you keep it closed and you don't let it slip inside your hands. Onto your embossing, onto your mat. Then a second 3mm plate, and that's going to go through the machine. So while that's just going through, I've been hoping my machine might stop at some point so I can show you a little trick, because I've had a few people say, well, their machines have stopped. If that happens, just press the off button and press it on again. Just means the sensor needs to pick up properly because your plates might have come open a little bit. Right, so here we go. So this is what happens. I'm now going to open this up, and it will have stuck a little bit, but that's fine. And now the best bit. So this reminds me, you know, years ago, I don't know, those of you, I mean, a lot of you have been watching Create and Craft for a very, very long time. Oh gosh, look at that. Look at those trees. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to dust it off in between. So just let me get off this excess. So I've got it cleaner. Years ago, I started with my first glitter station, and I remember we had so much fun on air with it because it was all about buying big pots of glitter and tipping them into big boxes like this, and then you could have it set up somewhere in your craft room. So when you stood up and you went over there, it was actually like going to somewhere that was something special, and it was just really a box of glitter, but it made it look good. Okay, so there's my design. Don't worry about that little bit of pink up there. It's picked it up from the embossing folder where I was playing with different colours earlier. So that's it. So I've got sparkly trees now. I'm going to move that out of the way, and I am going to come to this. So here, this is one of them that I prepared earlier, and I've got I'm going to use this piece, reuse this piece of gold. So this one's dry. It takes only about 10 minutes for the real sticky to go off. And I'm going to place this over the top, and I'm using that because this was the original mat that I was going to use. I'm just saving myself some product and paper and everything else. So I'm just going to reach my double-sided tape. Because I had my snacks and all of that on the table, I had to sort of try and keep the crafty stuff a little bit clear. That chocolate's setting beautifully. They're actually, those little biscuits, those little cheesecake biscuits are shouting, "Eat me." And then, so I was taking the glitter station home one night from work to my own craft room. It's over a weekend, and I didn't have my own car. I can't remember why. I had Carl's, and I braked at the traffic lights, and then went over a bit of a speed bump. And in the traffic lights, I think the glitter station had moved to the edge of the seat, and the speed bump just made it to a little lift, and it didn't land on the seat, it landed on the floor. And when he sold the car 2 years later, it was still sparkled. He was not the best pleased with me, and he wouldn't even let me clean it up because he said I probably wouldn't do a very good job. But it actually flew in all the air. So it settled on absolutely everywhere. It went, literally, it did go all over the place. So the moral to the story is, if you do take your glitter station for a ride, then please make sure that you actually have some way of holding it back down. So just want to say another hello to everybody, and it's really nice hearing about all your favourite snacks, and Sarah's just telling me some of the people that are on. So
so we've got Beverly, who says her favourite snack is cheese on toast with apple rings.
Apple rings? Oh, with cheese on toast?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure about that, Beverly.
Barbara says that your snacks look so lovely and hardly any calories.
Hardly's being the right word, Barbara.
Dawn says hello.
Hi, Dawn.
Susan says, I've just baked a sponge buttercream and jam filling and just eaten a very large slice.
Oh, have one for me. That's two.
Another Barbara says her favourite snack is Prosecco jelly.
Oh, I like the Prosecco more liquid than jelly.
We've got Tracy saying hi.
Hi, Tracy.
Carolyn. Louise says that the card's looking lovely. Joanne says that's a full die cutting machine. What brand is it?
Oh, okay. So this one's a Pro Cut. So this one is the purple limited edition. We've got a new limited edition coming out before Christmas. It's a different colour. Does look really good. One of the nice thing about the Pro Cut is you don't have to think about your plate combinations. You just, because there's only 3 plates. So I've used 2 of them. So you get, I've used 2 of them for my embossing, and for cutting, it's one of the 2 that I've just used, and a 5mm. And the nice thing about the 5mm, I'll show you this one because it's been well used. It doesn't bend because it's slightly thicker than all the other cutting plates. This one won't flex, so that's really important because it means you don't have to replace it as often. Right, I'm just going to show you how I'm putting my couple down. Now, what I've done is I put tape, just so that you can show you on here, I put tape down the gentleman but not down the lady, and I put tape just along this top part of the umbrella. So when I lift it up, you'll see, look, he's stood up, she's actually bent towards the back, and that will hold down flat, and it just gives it a little bit more shape. Now I'm just going to find the hug, because the hug is actually their arms.
Ellen said, I'm trying to lose weight, Steph, since on lockdown, but I've got such a sweet tooth.
Oh, I'll tell you what, put extra icing sugar in them because they're even more yummy. And the other thing is, try them putting them in the freezer, girls and guys, because they taste really nice when they're just a little bit cold and an extra little bit crispy.
Stuart says, good afternoon, Stephanie and everyone from Glasgow in Scotland.
Oh, hi Glasgow. Hi everybody. I don't know what your weather's like up there, but it's not very nice here today. So I'm really happy to be having snacks and crafting. It's when it's like this is the time that you want to sit at home and just really keep warm, isn't it? So it's nice that we chose, for the decoupage on the die, we chose the hugs. And so I wanted them to be called the hugs because that's like the arms where they're hugging each other. So I've put them just here. Now I would finish this off with a piece of red card round the outside to bring in the red of the umbrella. But more importantly than that, we need some sparkle. So I would actually go back, and it's as if it is absolutely snowing. So we're going to put lots of snow around. And I'm just going to, and look at the difference that makes, because it really, it sort of brings the whole thing together, doesn't it? So I've used, oh, I've just used the wrong glue, never mind. That's my stencil glue, which remembers repositionable. I would actually use one of my PVA glues because that would do just as good a job. This will still work though.
Marilyn says, this is such a lovely idea with the trees. I've never seen it done before.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that you like it, because when I tried it this morning, I woke up in the night, everybody, and I was thinking about what was I going to show you today, because it's a real privilege, you know, to be on Create and Craft doing Facebook. I was like, oh gosh, I've got all these people going to be watching, what we're going to do, I need to do something really special. And the making snacks was easy because I think about food a lot. So that bit was really easy. I was thinking about what can I do in 5 minutes, so I've got the most time to craft, but that you might really enjoy to see, or that you could make at home. And we keep those little bars of dairy milk in our fridge. It's one of Carl's favourites, and if you don't know, Carl's actually my husband, and so we keep those actually in the fridge. And I'm just going to use my pokey tool to just join this snow up a little bit, because it's not as joined up on the top of the umbrella as I'd like it. So I'm just literally, what I'm doing, so I'll let you see, I'm joining it along, and then I'm just dragging little bits of it down as if it's just snowing down. So I was thinking about it. I was thinking, oh, what can I do? What could I do about make snacks? And I thought, oh, I know what I can do. I'll do one of those biscuit snacks, because I make those quite a lot. And then I'm like thinking, look how much more snowy that looks. Doesn't it look really snowy? So then along the floor, I'm going to do the same. So then what I was doing, I was like, all right, that's easy. Now what can I do with the embossing folders? And I know literally thousands of people have bought the new subscription. And so, and it hasn't finished yet. So I just wanted to think, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll do something with the dies, because now that we're getting embossing folders with it, it means that it's sort of, there's a lot more we can teach you every month. So I've been thinking about doing this as one of my tutorials, and then I thought, well, no, I'm not going to wait that long. I'm going to show everybody. So see how I've pulled down the snow now to make it so it's more snowy. So you can, if I go in here with my fingers, you can see how you can brush off the extra glitter where it's just settling on the static. So that will all just brush away. Get a fine brush in there and just brush that off. But it gives you a really pretty look where you've got the detail of the design, and it does look like it's quite snowy. It really looks effective, doesn't it, from a distance? Actually, it's not that close up either. Right, so let's have a look how much time I've got. I've got a few more minutes. Let me just quickly show you these dies, because these are the ones I'm going to be teaching you over the next few weeks. So we've just got time to do this. So these are all the freebies that you get with your subscription. So you've got this one, which is the easel extension card. I'm going to show you 10 ways of using that. Then we've got arrow cards. This is a really brilliant one, because it's amazing when you do a twisted easel. Then I've got stepper cards, and finally you've got this fabulous tag pocket. So they're all free that you get with the subscription. Now you know why I've had to keep my top closed, because I had a bit of strawberry juice on there. But there's one here for you and there's one for me. I think I'm going to have this one. And look at how, I'll just show you this. It holds together, so the bottom stays on. It doesn't, oh, the chocolate's not quite dry, but that doesn't matter. It's really, really good. Whoops. And I shouldn't show you this really, but I haven't. Don't tell anybody. Please don't tell people, because this is something I used to get into trouble for. But quick, stop the video. It's rude to talk with your mouth full. I'll see you next time.